to today's live stream. So excited that you are here. I appreciate your time and I'm so happy to see everyone. And so today's topic is going to be all about one of my mentors. So if you know this man, please tag him in this live video. I absolutely love Billy Alsbrooks. He is one of my favorite inspirational teachers that I love, and I gained so much knowledge from him. And he has really helped to take me through some very dark periods in my life. And so I thought I would pay tribute to him and just say thank you by creating this live video for everybody so that you could also learn from this brilliant man named Billy Alsbrooks. If you are not following him, he is on LinkedIn, he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, Facebook, I believe he's on TikTok, he's on all the places. So make sure that you go and follow him, gain some knowledge from him, apply it to your life, and watch your everyday life just completely soar and change for the better. So there's three things that I'm going to share with you today that I've learned from Billy Alsbrooks over the past probably 10 years or something. I've been following him. And it really started when my husband and I were in the pit of despair of our 12 years of sexlessness. And I was feeling very depressed. I was feeling very oppressed, just had that weight on my shoulders. I didn't know if our marriage was going to survive. I didn't know if I could even survive. I was so depressed. Went to bed crying every night. I was trying to show up on social media as this happy-go-lucky person of Heather. And I felt like I was lying all the time. I felt like I had this mask on all the time. And I was faking my smiles and taking pictures on social media and doing all the right lighting and wearing the right cute clothes and posing and doing all the things. But inside, I was feeling horrible. I was feeling very lost, very dark period of my life during those 12 years of sexlessness. And so I came across Billy Alsbrook and his book, Blessed and Unstoppable. If you have not read that book yet, please go pick it up. It's incredible. He uses that book and tours around the world and gives a lot of inspirational talks and in different places and stuff. And it's incredible. But here's the three things that I wanted to share with you guys today. There's three quotes that I actually have up here on my computer that I look at every single day as I'm doing my work, whether it's writing my own book, whether it's showing up online or leading a virtual masterclass, or I'm actually hired to speak on a virtual platform. And I have these three things right here next to my computer, and I read them every single time before I do any work or before I do my workouts every day. And they've really made a huge impact on me. So I'm just going to share those with you, and I'm going to tell you why this quote means so much to me. So the first one is, when your why for overcoming is greater than the obstacle ceases to exist. Now, the reason why I love this quote by Billy Alsbrooks is because when my husband and I figured out the why behind our sexlessness and we overcame, something deep inside of me was like, I cannot let another woman or man feel that frustration and that loneliness inside a sexless marriage like I did. I physically can't, because I understand how it feels to be that lonely and to feel like you're in this dark, oppressive pit and you're very depressed and you don't know if you can move on, and all these different feelings happen when you have relationship struggles. And so when I first saw that quote by Billy Alsbrooks, and he said, When your why for overcoming is greater than the obstacle ceases to exist. To me, I felt like what that was saying is, okay, I'm being called by God to now go and talk about relationships and talk about sex. Yes, it's embarrassing to share our story. Yes, my husband doesn't really enjoy the fact that I'm out here talking about our sex life. But my why for doing it had to become greater than my husband's uncomfortability. My why had to become greater than the possible hate that I would get from the church. Coming out here and talking about sex and just being so open and free with it. And so that saying and that quote by Billy Alsbrooks really helps to get underneath my soul and just light this fire in me every single day, because I know that there's somebody on the other end of this screen or on Instagram or any other place where I'm posting and showing up every day and teaching these classes and workshops and standing on stage and speaking to tons of people. My why has to be, I don't want another person to suffer like we did. And so, even if these obstacles come, and even if my husband's uncomfortable with what I'm talking about, and if my kids are uncomfortable with me talking about our sex life, and they're hearing, dad didn't want sex for 12 years and mom did want sex. I mean, all these different things that could potentially be getting in the way. I had to just let that crap go. I had to let it go. I had to just drop the caring about it. And when I did that, and when I showed up every day and I decided to just speak my story out and just to be truthful with everybody, that obstacle ceased to exist. It no longer got in my way. As a matter of fact, it became my strength. So anytime a hater came in, or someone from the church said something negative to me, or they unfollowed me, or they said, why is Heather talking about sex so freely? We don't talk about sex. That's supposed to be like a private thing. When my mom came to me and said, why are you talking about sex? All of those things that I used to care about that would keep me from my greatness at one time and would keep me from talking about how I can help other people, that just fell off to the wayside because I saw that me sharing my story could help another person. And so that quote by Billy Alsbrooks has meant the freaking world to me. It helps me to gain my strength and courage and confidence anytime that I start to doubt myself or worry or fear or anything like that comes up. And so again, these are 3 quotes that I'm sharing to you today about why I love Billy Alsbrooks so much. And the 3 things that I've learned from this incredible man. Again, if you're not following him already, please give him a follow. Go buy his book, Blessed and Unstoppable. It is freaking incredible. And if any one of you watching can tag him in this live, that would be amazing, because I did not tell him I was doing this live. I just felt inspired like 5 minutes ago. He has no idea I'm doing this. So so that's the first thing. The second thing that I've learned from Billy Alsbrooks is another quote that he says, which is, refuse to give time, energy, or focus to anything that doesn't belong in your future. Now, why I love this so freaking much is because there's so many things that can get in the way of our greatness. There's so many things that can get in the way of our power. So many things that can get in the way and keep us from our greatness and from our purpose. And one of the things that tried to get in the way of my goal and my mission and my calling of talking about relationships and helping other people with their sex life are some people that I used to flirt with during the 12 years of our sexless period. Now, you better believe the enemy, our enemy, knows us better than anybody else. He knows the things that cause weakness in us. He knows what causes doubt in us. He knows what causes fear. And you better believe when you're on the rise up, when you're in an expansion period, he's going to throw everything that he can at your feet to try and distract you from the purpose and the calling that God has for you. And you better believe that when I started to come out here and talk about, Christians and sex, and how Christians aren't even climaxing, and Christians have the highest divorce rate in the freaking country. And we should be, I think, should be the ones that have the strongest marriages so that we can be out here showing the world what the possibility of amazing marriage looks like. Yet, Christians are the ones that are divorcing faster than anyone. They're the ones that have the most amount of struggles in the bedroom because of all of our upbringing and these stigmas and these taboos and all of these things. And so you better believe that when I started to expand and talk about this stuff and how we were able to overcome our sexless marriage and how I've been able to help almost 17,000 people worldwide in the past almost 10 years, you better believe that the enemy was throwing some hot guys my way because he knows that I could be very easily sidetracked by a really good piece of, amazing looking man. Just like I know a lot of men can be sidetracked and distracted from really good looking women when they're married. Same thing. Men and women struggle with the same thing, and for me, it's been lust over all my years since my teen years. Okay. So I'm very open about this about myself. I never hide this fact about myself. I'm very open when I help clients that, hey, like this still comes up for me. You might have something else that tries to get in the way of your successful marriage. And so this quote, refuse to give time, energy, or focus to anything that doesn't belong in my future. For me, that is flirting with other people, because that can very easily take from this amazing work that God has done in my own marriage and can very easily take from any future work that I'm being called to help with other couples. Okay. So do you see why I love Billy Alsbrooks so much? The third thing that I have learned from this amazing man is, here's another quote. And I kind of already went into it a little bit, but the actual quote is, the devil will always go to war at the point of expansion. Every place that you can grow, prosper, or multiply, the enemy will attack. And so that has been a very real truth in my life. So any single time I am on the rise up or I'm expanding, whether that is, I'm growing in my mind, I'm growing in my emotions, I'm growing in my spirit, I'm growing in my relationship with God, I'm spending more time with God. Maybe I am, helping more people. Maybe I'm getting hired to speak more often, and the money is flowing in, and people are calling me and they're wanting me to come and speak on their stage. They're wanting to have me on their podcast and all these different things. You better believe I have been freaking attacked in the last 10 years, you guys. It's like, it is not even funny. As soon as I have and this is really funny. And I don't know why this happens, but for me, every single time that I'm in the best mood, my husband and I are doing the best. We've probably just had an amazing, sexual rendezvous thing. And, our climaxes has just been freaking incredible. I mean, like earth shattering. Like we set fireworks off and the neighbors heard us and all these different things. So anytime I've had a super amazing day like that, all of a sudden, just out of the blue, okay, all of a sudden here comes this attack. Whether it's I'm getting flack from somebody, or someone unfollows me, or someone posts something about me, or again, here comes someone flirting with me, or someone from my past that I used to have sex with freaking years ago. It's all of a sudden out of the blue, here comes this thing or that thing. And now I recognize it. Before I used to be scared of it. But now I know when I get those kind of attacks that I am on the right path. I know that the work that I am doing is making an impact. It's making a difference. It's helping another marriage to avoid divorce. Do you know how crazy amazing it is that I am helping people avoid divorce, especially couples in the church? Because again, we have the highest, or one of the highest, divorce rates. I mean, and I saw the statistic not that long ago that said over 85% of Christians have never had a climax in the bedroom. Most of us out here in the church are actually faking it. So, of course, as Christians, we want to feel the abundance that God has in store for us. And that includes our bedroom situation, our sex lives. Like that to me is where I think that we should excel as born again believers. But the enemy is going to want to keep us from that because he knows when there's a strong marriage, man, I mean, we can just be so impactful in the world when our marriages are on track. All right. And the enemy hates that. And so, of course, he's going to try and tear apart as many marriages as possible. And so I absolutely love that quote. It keeps me grounded, it keeps me focused. And I am like showing up every day just completely ready to serve. And that is where we can be the most impactful when we're out here doing God's work. And so I hope that you've enjoyed these 3 reasons why I absolutely love Billy Alsbrooks. Of course, again, if you're not following him, please go follow him. He's on LinkedIn, he's on Instagram, he's on YouTube. A lot of his downloads are on iTunes, so you can listen to all of his inspirational messages on iTunes, which is pretty freaking incredible. You can also go buy his book, which is Blessed and Unstoppable. It's on Amazon, and I don't know where else, but that's where I bought mine. And I hope that you love him and you fall in love with him as much as I have. I hope that you wake up with Billy Alsbrooks every day and that he gets you going in the right direction, and you feel inspired every day and you feel unstoppable and you feel the calling that is in your soul every single day and you just go after it with full force. That's what he does for me every day. And I know that he's going to do that for you as well. And so thank you so much for being here today for this live. I appreciate every single one of you, and God bless.